Hey guys, this is a part 4 of this video. So let's go back to the code and continue. So I believe that in the last video I finished off in this line of code. So I want to talk a lot about just this line of code. So I don't know you guys, you use Inversify or not. So one of the APIs that they give you is toConstantValue. This is one of the nicest API that I have ever seen. I use many dependency injections. So I use the Microsoft one. After that, I use the Ninject. After that, I tried Inversify. I believe the Google one. It was Google Fruit. I tried Google Fruit. Even I wrote my own dependency injection in C. So I'm very familiar with dependency injection. But among all the APIs that I see, this toConstantValue is something very nice from Inversify. Okay. The others one also they have something similar, but this one is very nice to me. So I want to talk a lot about this toConstantValue. In this one, it is not very obvious because we are not doing it very fancy. But in the next line of code that you see, for example, we're doing the RabbitMQ. This toConstantValue can be very tricky, I would say. So let me explain to you. So the correct way to initialize this thing is like this. So you have a RabbitMQ. For example, you get your values and so on and so forth. After that, you initialize the RabbitMQ properly and fully, and then bind it. It means that what? It means that you said that anyone who looking for the type RabbitMQ channel, pass him this constant value, the constant that just now you created. You created this thing as a constant, and for example, and you are passing it. So this is the correct way to do it. Okay, but there are many wrong way to do this. Let me show you what are the wrong way to do this. This is no, 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 no. The first wrong way to do this is that you do all the initialization, but you pass it as an arrow function. It means that an arrow function that you do the channel. Okay, believe it or not, this is a mistake that previously I did in my coding. I didn't know it's a mistake. So by the first look, it doesn't look like a mistake or something, but in the execution, this thing can mess you up. So for this one, I will share the mind map in here. Okay, so let's see what's the issue. Everything done before the binding, but the entire thing is wrapped the bigger function. So it means that this thing is in a bigger function because you have arrow functions, right? So you cannot to call the arrow function on middle of the, for example, thing, right? As a result, after the execution of the function, the const is undefined. You get what I mean? It means that the const is already gone. Okay, and your dependency is gone. Okay, so you have not to do that. Okay, so you have not to do the arrow function like this, especially because you do all this await, right? You cannot do the await on the middle of the nowhere, right? So it's supposed to be an async function, you call it, right? So you have not to do this. Okay, so this is a state obvious, but this one is a less tricky one. Okay, so but there is another way, another approach that you do the thing wrongly. Okay, this one is another bad approach. Okay, you do this one is very tricky. Yeah, by the first look, this one there is nothing wrong with it, but if even the guys they are using the API on the other side, it means that when on the get side they do it mindfully and nothing will happen. But I'm extremely against this practice as well. This time is that when you are binding the thing, you passing an async function, and inside the async function what you do is that you will do all the initialization. Okay, so if you do a binding like this, you don't need to initialize the entire thing in an async function. Okay, because now when you do the const to value, for example, what you do is that you passing an async, right? So it means that he will create an async function. After that he grab the thing. This is very bad. This is very bad because normally when you use the Inversify, what you do is that if you go to the Inversify and for example you see, you see where the guy he is asking for this thing, right? Let's see where the guy he is getting it. The place that this guy is getting it, okay, he is not awaiting it. Do you see what's the problem? The problem is that on that side the thing is async, in here is not awaited, because nobody in the Inversify board when getting a stuff awaiting the thing, right? So this one it caused serious problems. So the code can crash, the code become unstable. So this is a very big trick that I think this one's supposed to be a separate video in a series, but that, for example, one of the tricks that you have to really keep in mind when you are playing with the Inversify. But this is very important. Never, ever, ever, when you do the toConstValue, this kind of thing, you do the binding, those kind of things, use the async function, because on the other side people they don't expecting to await your resolving your dependency. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, the correct way to do this is exactly like the way that I'm doing here. You properly initialize the guy. Okay, you fully initialize. Even this RabbitMQ channel, okay, you see is a let. Okay, so it means that out of the function, I already say that okay, something like this exists. So after execution of this function, this thing won't die. Okay, and in here, what I'm doing is that just what I do is that just I pass the guy. I just pass the boy after full creation. Okay, so this is a very proper way to do this. Okay, and this is a way, even here I mentioned this is the correct way to do this. So I think for this video is enough, because in this video I want to make it separate video. In the next video we will discuss the rest of the code. Thank you.